Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Being a Sunday, as always, we have the Arena Show. Remember, we are coming to you live from Poor Place Resort. And last Sunday, we had a very interesting conversations where we hosted a young man from Nandi County who is aspiring to vie for the senatorial seat. Kijana mzuri sana ambaye anaitwa Robinson, aka Malaria. Now, we had a very interesting conversation. Alituambia about his dream. Na kama huku watch, tafadhali enda pale YouTube, tafuta The Arena Show, utapata full episode of that show. Today we have a very engaging conversation. We have one of the most, I can say, vocal members from Uasin Gishu. This is somebody that was ranked among the best members of parliament by Mizani Africa. Na huyu ni mtu ambaye si mgeni katika siasa ya Uasin Gishu. Kwa sababu pale amekuwa speaker wa county assembly ya Uasin Gishu. And now is the member of parliament for Soy constituency. Karibu sana Bwana DK.
Asante sana.
Karibu kwenye show.
Yeah.
We are so honored to have you.
Asante.
Yes. Kukutafuta imekuwa ngumu kidogo lakini
kazi ndio mingi.
Tumeona umechapa ground. Kwanza congratulations for being ranked as among the best members of parliament by Mizani Africa.
Asante.
Sijui waliona nini?
Ukifuatilia vizuri, kwanza asante kwa news kwa hii program kwa it's the most aspiring way of engaging with the leaders, which it reaches the people of Soy and also the people of Kenya in a wider view, and also the entire world. So we don't take it for granted. Sorry for looking for me up and down because of issues ya kasi. You know, we oscillate between reserve na Nairobi.
Yes.
Kuhakikisha kuwa mambo ya wananchi inakaa barabara. Kwa hii ranking ambayo ilifanywa na Mizani, kuna nyingine ilifanywa na Polytrack. It shows that we have done well. We have done well where it matters most, that is in Bunge. I think if you look at the answered, we are always very active. Kutetea raia. As you know, kazi ya mbunge, apart from kazi za nyumbani kama kawaida, ambayo watu waliamua ni kazi ya mbunge, kazi yetu ni oversight, representation, legislation, na kuhakikisha kuwa at least sauti ya raia wa Soy inasikika kule bungeni, as in terms of the national spectrum. So kazi pia tumejaribu kufanya. Kwanza kabisa vile niliomba kura, mimi si mgeni sana kwa mambo ya siasa.
Wacha tarudi hapo kwa mambo ya kwa sababu pia naona kuna mtu anauliza UDK ni nani. Wacha tutoe honorable. Tukuje kwa David Lagat.
Yes.
David Lagat ni nani?
David Lagat ni popularly inaitwa DK. Pana yake ni David Kiplagat. Mimi ni mkaaji wa Ziwa.
Uko ndio ulizaliwa?
Nilizaliwa mahali inaitwa hapo tu karibu hapo Muibeni, inaitwa Toloita. Ama Matimari kitambo. Alafu tukahamia huko Ngei the Valley.
Okay.
Then mahali sasa nimesettle ni hapo Nyalilbe, inaitwa Ziwa. Ziwa what? Yote ni eneo ya Soy. Tangu kitambo nikiwa mtoto, I used to like politics. Na ile siasa nilikuwa napendelea, nilikuwa naona the only way tunaweza saidia watu wetu is through good representation. Kupata sauti ya watu wetu ili the common issues that they are facing can be able to be sorted. So I used to like politics. Nikiwa shuleni.
Shule ulisoma wapi?
So shule kwa vile nilikuwa na changamoto ya mambo ya school fees kama kawaida huko nyumbani. Nikabidi nikasomea mashule kadhaa. Nilikuwa nimeitwa Lenana. Wasasi hawakuweza kujikimu katika kulipa karo.
Na primary ulikuwa wapi?
Primary ilikuwa Ngei Primary School. class 1 mpaka class 8 then. After that nikaenda Kabuituj, Kipkabus, nikakuja nikamalizia Kiboro day school hapo pale nyumbani. And nilimaliza form 4 1996, so nimeseeka kidogo.
Kumbe pia miaka
imechapa kiasi. And kwa ile hiyo mtihani, you know, when exams were exams, nilikuwa the top boy in Uasin Gishu district then. Yeah. And number 2 in terms of the ranking, because kulikuwa na msichana mwingine hapo Moi Girls. Alitia bidii kidogo, but in terms of the boys I was the top boy in Uasin Gishu district then.
Kumbe the brains you are seeing in Uasin Gishu in parliament imetoka mbali.
Yeah, then of course change nimekuwa nikifanya, I usually follow my art. So watu wengi walikuwa wananiambia unajua kupata alama ya ilikuwa ni lazima uende ufanye medicine. But I didn't like medicine myself.
You're not passionate about it?
I didn't like it. In fact, ilifika mahali ni wanaambia mtu nimejaza lakini sijajaza. Nilikuwa tunajijua mwenyewe ku prevent watu wasiniulize sana. Unaenda kuwa daktari, nikasema nimejaza, but nilikuwa passionate na software engineering. By then nilikuwa inaitwa computer science. So nika apply computer science. Nikaitwa computer science Egerton University. So I joined university in 1998. By then kulikuwa na a lot of strikes, left, right and center. Nikamaliza 202.
Okay.
Na that time computer science was very marketable. Ukimaliza tu makampuni walikuwa wanakujanga kusema tunaweza, kama unaweza wajoin. So nikajoin kampuni nyingine ilikuwa inaitwa James Finlay.
So wewe ukutama after shule?
No, huku by then hatukuwa tunatama. Because there were only I think we were 16 in a class. And there were only 2 universities that were offering computer science. Tulikuwa Egerton na University of Nairobi. Okay. So kutama haikuanga. So from then, and then unajua ukifanya computer science unaweza fanya biashara zako pia. So nilianza biashara zangu nikiwa third year. By the time I was finishing fourth year, nilikuwa nimenunua gari kadogo through.
Biashara, ilikuwa biashara gani?
Ilikuwa biashara ya kudevelop software. Which are still running up to today, funny enough. Management ya mashule and institutions.
Kumbe pia ni mtu wa IT.
Yeah. Then nikaenda James Finlay, but sikupenda. Unajua kazi ya mzungu. Mzungu analipa, lipa ile sawa, ile by the time anakulipa unakuwa umefanya kazi.
Unafanya kazi.
Na unajua ile jaro zangu nilikuwa nataka nafanya kidogo ya payslip, nafanya kidogo ya
side hustle.
So nikaona it was really sacrificing my side hustle. So sikumaliza, nilifanya 1.5 months.
Kazi ya mzungu 1.5 months.
Nikaresign, nikasema hii jamaa anataka kunipotol nisifanye kazi.
Lazima pia side hustle ilikuwa inakupea pesa mzuri.
Side hustle ilikuwa na pesa. Ukiona unaandikwa kazi unalipwa, nilikuwa nalipwa na mzungu kape. Nilikuwa nimeanzia 180,000 that then.
180,000,
which was a lot of money. But side hustle ukifanya job moja unaweza pata 200, na hiyo ni kazi ya 1 week. Nikaona hii kitu
inakufungia.
Inanifungia. So nikasema nikajoin Kabarak. In fact, before when I was in 4th year, I used to work part-time na Egerton University kwa developia system ingine, stabilize system ingine ilikuwa ya wanafunzi. Then from there, hiyo system Kabarak ikahitaji, lakini wakasema waniandike kazi, so that I go and implement for them. So I worked in Kabarak for another 6 months. Yeah, nikamaliza.
Wewe umekuwa ukiguza tu kidogo.
Ukiguza, halafu from then on nika apply, nikapata treasury na nikapata University of Nairobi. but nilikuwa nimeona kazi ya university ilikuwa ni mingi. So nika drift nikaenda University of Nairobi. So I worked in University of Nairobi from 2003 mpaka juzi vile nimekuja kwa speaker. And I really enjoyed. Kama kuna kazi nilienjoy ni hiyo. I was the leading nilikuwa na lead to develop student systems. I was the head of their student systems. Nilifanya, I think I was the head from 2007 for 10 years. For 10 years. So ukiona systems zote ya university.
That's more gonna keep up
in No, it was good. And then it allowed me to fanya ile kazi yangu ya side hustle. Unajua kwa kama kuna kazi inalipa ni side hustle. So nilikuwa nafanya side hustle and I could program my own time vizuri. So I'd say unajua kazi ya software development si kazi unaweza fanya kwa muda mkubwa because inachukua a lot of your mind and thinking. The chances are if you do it, I will advise the upcoming developers, you don't need to do it coding for more than above 40 years. When you are 40, you look for something else to do. Either you manage the systems or you just exit.
Kwa nini inakustrain sana?
Inakustrain sana. It's mind intensive.
Unajua tumesikianga watu wa IT.
And chances are, and you become you know, it's like nakuchukua everything, even your other line of engagement inakuwa limited. So but I program myself nikasema ikifika when I'll be 40 I'll now join the other passion of siasa. So nilikuwa nimetengeneza pesa yangu kidogo hapo. Nikaingia siasa. I wanted to be an MP in 2017. Haikuwa mbaya. But pia my brother wanted to be a senator. So unajua sasa ikafika ile ya Kalenjin wanasema ukiwa na ndume mbili kwa sisi moja, uwezi lazima moja uifanye ile mambo.
Ukisema your brother ni
my bigger brother, yeah. So tukadiscuss, tukaamua waje ya contest. So I had to now.
So your bigger brother vied
for the Senate, yeah, 2017. Anaitwa Abraham Rutto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So but you know, I had exited myself from the university because unajua baba yangu na making a decision once, so sasa nikashindwa now. Things have not gone the way I wanted it to go. So nikaanza kuona what other opportunities are there. Nikaona hii position ya speaker naweza jaribu. Nikajaribu kuuliza my friends, wakaniambia kitu inataka lawyer nini kidogo.
Unawe ni software engineer.
Sasa nikaenda kusoma sheria, sioni mahali inasema lawyer. Mpaka nikaona hii ni siasa. Hii ni ile mchezo ya town ya mawakili. Wanataka ku make sure that wanaji ring fence kwa hiyo kazi. So I finally decided that I will contest for the speaker for Uasin Gishu. Of course, ku contest speaker wa idhaa kwa rahisi. Iko na a lot of players, not even mobilization. Mobilization haikuwa shida because I had the money. But now, in terms of getting support from wandani ya wanasiasa na who control the politics from the national up to the county level.
Nani alikuwa mwenye kusema hizo wakati wa Singishu?
Of course kulikuwa na Governor Mandago, kulikuwa na MPs wenye walikuwa wamechaguliwa then, kulikuwa na Deputy President, kulikuwa na President Uhuru mwenyewe, and then there was the candidate ya chama. The chama ilikuwa imesema anaitwa wakili nani Bitei. So chama ilikuwa inasema that's what their candidate. So but I trusted myself. I read everything, nikaona hapa kila mtu ni feel tu.
Ukaona utajaribu.
So finally I think I made victorious. Nikakuwa speaker. So nikakuwa speaker for 5 years, which I enjoyed because you really learn public relations. You know, kama kuna kazi na require a lot of public, require a lot of PR. Kuwa speaker.
Kuwa speaker.
Because unaweza amka leo, unakula leo, kuamka kesho umeimbichiwa. So lazima ujue uwezi lala kama umefunika macho yote mbili, lazima ukae, and it requires a lot of PR. So I think I also thank God that I couldn't contest in 2017 because I also realized there were so many dynamics I had not taken into consideration. So that back kidogo ilinisaidia now to understand the politics and also to understand the environment. So nikaanza sasa kuchipanga. Your 5 years napanga ground.
Katafuta marafiki.
Yeah, so by the time I declared my candidature for 2022 for the position of the MP for Soy, it was easy. Of course kuna complications kidogo pale, lakini I knew I was winning. So unajua uzuri ya siasa, unajua kama unaenda kuanguka ama unaenda kupata.
Lakini watu
sometimes it is the supporters and the brokers who are surrounding you who want to cheer you on. But if ukichiuta mkutano peke yako, utajua kama utashinda ama ushinde.
Kwa sababu hiyo wakati ukiwa mheshimiwa,
but the people who are surrounding you might not give you that time so that you can reflect and be able to analyze. But I can tell you, any politician who is truthful to himself, akijiita mkutano peke yake without all the other attachments, utajua kama unashinda ama ushinde. Haikuanga na bahati. Of course, we have learned a lot. Combine ile my profession and the politics and what we have learned in and be able to configure something. I can tell you without a doubt that whether we are winning or not, that one I can tell you. And sometimes unaweza jua ushindi, but because you don't want to frustrate your supporters, unaamua tu kuamka tu, lakini utakuwa tunafanyia miguu hivi,
unajua mambo unaenda kuanguka.
But siasa what I've learned about politics, haitaki a lot of emotions. Na you need to always reflect upon yourself, because what happens kwa siasa is that it can drain you. It is very draining. The population, the voters, or watu wako wanajua you are the alpha and omega. You can sort all the problems that are there. Of course, it is not possible for you to sort all the problems that are there. So if you really don't plan yourself, you might find out that you finish the 5 years and you have nothing, because it is the supply. I don't know about the supply of money and the demand. So usually the demand outweighs the supply. So if you don't plan very well, you will have a situation whereby what you get during in fact you count on that day. What you get on that day, you give out everything, and by the time it reaches campaign, you have no campaign muscle. So wale wengine wamekuwa wakikudaradara hapo watakupita naye.
So uliacha mambo ya software development?
Of course nimeacha, but what I usually do, I have clients which I still maintain. So sometimes but now I don't want to cheat you. It's something that I decided because maintenance is not mine intensive. But in terms of going to the active software engineering, no, you might die early. So
lakini mheshimiwa, ungechukua watu wawili watatu vijana wa train?
Of course, I have trained a few, but now also you can train to maintain. Nobody should cheat. You can train to maintain the app. But in terms of to work the way you wanted it to work, they'll need to consult you. Yeah, and even consult, even in terms of modifying a code, is also mind intensive. So bado tuna maintain yenye tunaweza ku maintain, but adding new and technology also changes. You see technology in IT Like now, what you used to do, how we used to code that time, now it is issues of framework, issues of AI, so issues of the distributed computing, so it changes so much to a point whereby you become obsolete unless you also keep up a pace with the changes. So you cannot tell me after I've stayed for 7 years in politics, I can keep up with the other technologies. I'll be cheating myself. So, but anyway, what I'm saying is that maybe my parting shot on that is that as a politician, you also need to know that there's a time you are going to lose. It can be now, it can be in 10 years, and also there's life after. And the worrying part is that you get somebody who has served as an MP for 5 years, then after he's defeated, he has nothing. And they start becoming a broker or a beggar, it doesn't create a very nice image for Mweshimiwa to that, and it can drift very fast. So what I usually urge my fellow colleagues is that hii maisha ni kuchipanga. Unavaa kuchipanga.
Lakini sasa unajipanga aje to balance between now you have said the demand.
What is happening is what I can tell you. If you are going to be a member of parliament to earn salary, then you have missed.
Lakini hiyo ndio opportunity watu wanaona they will accumulate well.
Hiyo ni pesa hata haiwezi tosha raia wenyewe. Haiwezi tosha raia wenyewe. So what you need to do is that you will need to have other sources of making money. That are stable. You see, ile kwenda kuangukia deal, maybe upate 10 million na ukuja upeane, those are not stable.
For example,
you need to make sure that you use the term that you have been given to make sure you stabilize your source of income. And when I mean that source of income, if you rate yourself that maybe you need 500,000 in a month for you to maintain your own family life, then you have to make sure that the sources you have established are so stable that doesn't need your input. What I mean is you can go and sleep in Nairobi you can go and sleep in Mombasa for a month without picking a call, and you will make that 500. Which can sustain you. And the flip side in Kenya is that you are only relevant if you are still somebody.
You have money.
Of course, somebody is having money, but your relevance ends if you don't have the cash. And
wacha tu nikuulize swali moja. What are your other sources of income?
No, of course I can't reveal for that. But what I'm telling you is that I'm advising. You know me, I've come from far. If I give you my story, it's another. It can take a day. So I've come from far. So, and I can tell you, by the time I was leaving my last job to join politics as a speaker, at least I had stabilized myself. So. Ingine si numbers because I knew the risk involved. So what we really want to urge our young politicians who have had the chance to be elected, because currently we have a lot of young politicians in Bunge. They should always work to serve his constituents and also to stabilize his source of income, because this world is hard. When you are somebody, then all of a sudden you become nobody. And now, and the problem with that is that you are not the only one that suffers. It's so hard on your young family, because you can imagine if you had a kid that was still in maybe junior school or primary level, he used to be in a school like Brookhouse, for example, and maybe now you don't have that job, and your income cannot sustain. You'll be forced to bring him to these other normal schools, and I can tell you, you lose that kid because he will never understand what changed. So sometimes it is good when we get such a forum We also tell our colleagues wachiite mkutano wenyewe because yeah.
Now that you were speaker for 5 years, tell us about your transition and the lessons that you carried from being a speaker to being a member of parliament that you're implementing now.
In fact, I told you something. When I became a speaker, I learned a lot. I can't say I've learned a lot as a member of parliament. Of course, I've learned a few things, but I learned a lot as a speaker. And first of all is that how to relate. Relationship is very important in politics. How you relate with your constituents, how you carry yourself. So because fundamentally, maybe what I can tell you is that even if you do everything that your constituents expects you to do, and you don't carry yourself with humility and the dignity that it serves, I can tell you might not make it, even if you have done everything. So in politics, public relations and PR is very important. How you carry yourself, how you relate to people, how you are down to earth. You know, those are the things that you need to make sure that you really evaluate and make sure that you can be. And that one I learned when I was a speaker. And the other thing is that hata kama umebarikiwa, ujue kuna mtu mwingine hajabarikiwa, and there are many. So don't show off and see other people as if they are nobody. Yeah. Make sure that you also accept that all of us in this world are creatures of God, and He created in His own image. And whenever you see somebody the way he is, that is how God wants it to be like that. So, and you should give them that respect as such. So, and you will enjoy. Yeah.
Okay, I see we have a good number of people watching. Ningependa tu kuwahimiza if you're watching na uko na swali kwa mheshimiwa, tafadhali tuandikie pale, kutakuwa na session, tutachukua maswali. Mheshimiwa, ukachagulia ukakuwa MP. What are some of the achievements that you can say as a member of parliament for 3 years, you might achieve this and this and this to my people?
I think, first of all, we are a bit privileged that we were elected and also our president was elected. So we are in the government. And I can tell you, being in government and being in opposition is like day and night. So some of the manifesto that we had has become a little bit faster to implement. First of all, maybe I can say the most important and profound in my constituency was the issue of last mile connectivity. When I came in, last mile connectivity was at 29%. If we weigh on in terms of in terms of households that were not connected, there are around 12,500 households that had no power, which is huge. You compare that for every household you have about, as per Kenya Bureau of Standards statistics, you have about four adults. So that was the biggest issue when I was campaigning. In fact, that was the number one issue that people wanted to make sure that and in terms of the monetary value that we worked on, because you have to start on the getting the permanent data. We wanted around 1.2 billion for us to be able to connect. So far as we talk, we have been able to fund for the ongoing projects, the one that have been funded. They are at various stages, because connectivity involves various stages. We are at about 600 million. We are expecting to get before 2027 to get another 400 million. And so we'll have, in terms of monetary value, by 2027 we'll have funded to a tune of 1 billion. So that means we'll need only 200 million in the next election cycle to make sure that we are 100% connected. So our view was on grading ourselves. We said that we are going to connect between 2022 and 2027, we are going to connect 10,000 households. And that's our target, and so far we are going to achieve it. We are proceeding very well. Another one is in terms of the road network. The road network, most of our roads were impassable. So we have made sure that all the roads that have been assigned for both Kera and also for the county roads, I have made sure that they are marramed, they are motorable. So most of the roads that belong to us in Kera, and also I have taken a queue to assist also the county in some of the important arteries. You will appreciate that for those who have come to Soy, all our roads are now motorable. The other bit is that our schools were in pathetic condition. You know, the president was our MP.
Yes.
Which he really did a lot of work in terms of making sure that they are permanent structures. But those permanent structures, when I came in, they were in deplorable state. You could not even invite a visitor to visit any of our schools. So we started a program to renovate all our public primary schools. They are around 120 in number. So far we have done, after this financial year, we'll have done 75. So by 2027, we'll have done 100. From tiling everything to look like the academies. I think that's when we have achieved a lot. And of course, also we have other tangy projects to make sure that we build structures that model for our primary schools and secondary schools. That one we are continuing very well. We have also supplemented the county in terms of nationally. We have 2 major projects. Those major projects for water, we have the Moist Bridge Matunda water project that will finally cost around 3.5 billion, the one the president came to launch. We also have another water project in Navila Soy, funded by ADB to a tune of 1.6 billion, which the advert will go shortly. In this financial year, we are going to tarmac around four new roads. First of all, there was a road that the president launched when he was the deputy president, and the contractor went away. We made sure that contractor is back. It's around 50 kilometers. It's ongoing from Soy, Nangili to Ziwa, all the way to Perauta to Moist Bridge. That one, the contractor is on site and he proceeded very well. We are also doing another subsidiary of roads from Fafarol to Chelilim, from Siwa machine to Matunda. We are also doing another one that will be advertised in the next 30 days from Nyalilbe all the way to Ngeng, to Lower Moiben, to connect on the one that comes from Tuiven. We shall also connect from Ngeng to Kamgetu to Segero. All of those will be upgraded to bitumen standard. So you will find out that if we finish that, the Soy constituency will be the most connected in terms of the roads that are being connected to bitumen standards. So if we are able to fix the issue of water, we are able to fix the issue of our roads, and we are able to fix the issue of education, we are also privileged that we are also building a new KMTC in Ziwa. The president funded it to a tune of 200 million that is ongoing. The affordable housing have come in a big way. They are also putting hostels at a cost of another 250 million. So that one, progressively, it will support the Siwa Referral Hospital, which the president has also taken up from the counties because it was a bit stalled. So there are about markets that we are also doing all over. Then we have affordable housing that we are doing all over. So if you look at where we are, I can tell you, so we have achieved a lot. We have achieved a lot together with the support from the president. That's why I'm saying it's thank God that we were elected, and also our government was elected through the leadership of His Excellency the President. So in terms of, I can say, so we are the right trajectory to make sure that all the things that our people want. And then Lastly, of importance is the issue that touches, soy as we do maize, and farming is our livelihood. When the president managed to reduce the cost of fertilizer from 7,000 to 2,500, so you can imagine for every household 1 bag you have been able to save 4,500. So if you are used to buy 10 bags, at least you have saved 45,000, and that is pesa mfukoni. So you can see we have achieved a lot as a government. Also on the dairy sector, you remember the instability that was there, but now that stability that has been flattened when government has through KCC has managed to fix the price of milk to 50, and soon I think it will progressively be going up so that it can be able to stabilize the other dairies so that they can be able to match. So far from where I'm sitting is that there can be a lot of noise outside there that the government is not working, but if you look at it critically, we have achieved a lot, and in case there are some things we have not done so far, all of them are in the pipeline, and we are going to achieve. So overall, if you look at the entire spectrum, you will realize that we are in the right trajectory to make sure that by 2032 we'll have done marvelous when it comes to issues of development. And then, of course, our main key is representation in Parliament. I think that one we have done well. Whenever there are issues, like I think the most profound one was when Kenya Seed decided to push the cost of seeds by a whopping 43%. I remember I brought in a statement, and from that statement we pursued until they were able to be reduced to the previous cost. So the 43% was cancelled midway. Currently we are pursuing something that I also brought in Bunge, is to make sure that for those teachers that are 45 years and above, let all of them be employed, because we don't want to see a case whereby somebody who is 24 is being employed while somebody who is 45, you could even have 50 years. That is, imagine 10 years to retirement, has not been employed. So to be very fair to the society, we want to compel TAC. If there are any vacancies there, and I'll still pursue it. We have reached somewhere they are supposed to appear to come to the education committee. They have tried to dodge, but we are handling it to make sure that at least we can give a smile to those teachers, because they have really suffered, and I think you should not allow somebody who was really trained as a teacher to suffer that much. And why create unfairness? Sometimes somebody tells you, oh, he went to college when he was old. I think the only predominant attribute that is very pregnant is the age of somebody.
Yes.
Yeah. And
we've also seen cases whereby somebody when you graduate maybe 2 or 5 has not been employed.
Yes.
Now when you graduate last year,
the problem with there's a vice in this country that it didn't start recently. It started from the time of since our independence. If you read this, there was a literature book we used to read. We used to be examined on during our time. It was called "Do You Know Anybody?" And if there's a factor that has really affected our nation and has really affected the inequilibrium in the society, is the issue of do you know anybody. So you will find out that for those people who know somebody or who know anybody, and anybody, the meaning of anybody, somebody who is influential, who can be able to do 1 or 2 things to be able to get. So you will get in some instances, those who know someone to be employed. Yes. Those who don't know anybody don't get to be employed. That's why you get that. Okay, if you don't know anybody, at least you have money. By the way, in this country, it's the most unfortunate. If you have money, you know everybody.
There was also rumors that Baruas in also at 400,000 shillings.
I've also had okay, this the one who knows. For me, it might not get to me because I'm like a policeman. I am also looking at who is this selling letters. So it might not get to me one-on-one, but those are things that you...
Na zile za states huwa zinakufikia? Zinafikia members of parliament?
Sometimes, no, I don't. You know, we also want to create an equilibrium in the society. So I think those are issues that we need to make sure that we can develop a strategy, or we can develop an can I call it an algorithm whereby it will get to those ones who deserve to get.
Yes.
Because you know the issue of hopelessness is not having. The issue of hopelessness comes in when you have a structure that is that you don't know head or tail. And then what happens is, because if I'm trained teacher and I know now they are employed 2016, so I'll know that in the next 4 years it will reach to me, which I'm 20, maybe 2020.
Yes, 2020.
But I will get so mad when somebody in 2022 gets employed, and when I applied, they told me only 2016 can be employed. You know, that gets now this stigma that you find with the young generation, and that builds up when you have an inequality in the society. So I think as leaders, we should try to equal as much as possible, so that if the TAC is the one mandated to employ, let us be able to ventilate the structure and the grading structure they have been able to establish, to know that it is fair, and also to make sure that the older you are, the more likelihood of being employed. And it is something that you can actually publish, that we employed 20,000 teachers, and these are the ones, and these are the attributes, so that everybody can see and people will have hope. But this idea of saying, oh, there is a form that is given by a politician there is a form that is being sold there is a form, you know, I doubt whether we want to, that's how to sort a problem. Yeah, I really don't.
Lakini hivyo ndio sisi huku ground tunajua.
Iko, lakini it's a vice that we need to sort.
Okay.
And it should not be encouraged. And it should not be used as a political mileage. You know, some people want to use that as a political mileage, and also the society have agreed, because when you go to a forum, you'll be told, oh, utuandikie mtoto jeshi, utuandikie mtoto police, utuandikie mtoto TSC, because there is that acceptance that there is inequality in terms of employment structure in Kenya, that you require somebody to be able to get. So I think where I'm sitting is a vice that we need as leaders. We need to discourage, and we need to be as fair as possible. Because I even imagine recently when they were employing prisons. Funny enough, from all of a sudden, somebody decided that for Soy constituency, they are going to be employed in 64 Stadium. 64 Stadium is in Tarbo constituency. So I asked myself, how do you take Soy constituency to go to Tarbo? The farther end, you can imagine from Jeptuan all the way to top. And kuna uwanja Soy. So, and I had to take it, although we were remaining with the Garibo 3 or 4 days. I took it to Bunge as a statement. And I said that there is no way that my constituents can go to Tarbo to be employed for prisons. Let them be brought to a central place, Ziwa, Chepkigen Kraus, where we have been holding other things. And we moved, and I had to hold my foot down. I said, if it is not going to be moved anywhere in Soy, then there is no recruitment that is going to happen for Soy constituency. And they had to move. When they moved to Ziwa, so what did I do? You know, the media is a very important watchdog. Yes. So I sent all the media houses some to prevent they are like the people who listens what is going on. And I can tell you, all the people appreciated the 5 people who were employed. They were employed free and fair, because people could see, the media were there, and they could see the process, and all of them appreciate. And I can tell you, out of those 5 for the first time, you will not hear somebody at aliuza shamba kununua. You know, those are society that we are trying to build. Of course, I don't rule out that after that, people will pass through the back door, they'll get some forms, they will give and things like that. Those ones happen, but for sure, if we want to build a society that people will be happy with the little that is, let us be able to share that little that we have in the most favorable, in the most fair manner, and you people will be happy. But if we try now, well, somebody will say, if I don't know anybody, if I don't know any politician, I don't know what, they will give up and
give up.
Yeah.
What are the challenges that you are still facing as a member of parliament in Soy constituency?
Of course, quite a number. Well, there are quite a number of challenges. First of all, is that, of course, you know, as a leader, you have to be with your people. You have to sympathize with your people, and there are so many issues that require financial assistance. And sometimes you could get in a weekend, you have like 50 functions that when you see its core, and you have to balance all of them, and you have to attend all. You don't have to, of course, you can't be able to attend all of them, but your representation has to be in all of them. So sometimes you have to establish a structure to see how you can optimize and make sure that you start from the most needy going up. So sometimes you have 50 functions, it requires like 250,000, and maybe you have 100,000, and maybe you have 100,000 to be able to be filled in those functions, and it becomes very hard for you to be able to. Those are, I think the biggest challenge that politicians face is to be able to match the expectations from the electors, especially on the financial burden. That's the biggest. So you have to balance. The other bit is that government things are bureaucratic and slow. So sometimes you have a project that you have promised your constituents that we are going to do, and then you realize in terms of the execution side, even on something the president has even committed, but you will find you meet government officials, they are very slow. And sometimes you follow until you are tired, and the moment you are tired, it ends there. So like in fact, I was telling somebody when we are in Nairobi, we are actually hunters. You go hunting, you know, and if you get, for those who hunt daily, they'll get their development progress. For those ones who just stay, they don't hunt, you will get that all the projects you have promised your people, they never see the light of day. So there's a lot of the pathways are not smooth. There's no way government has a structure whereby if we promise this, there is a whole lineup of execution to make sure that it is implemented. You really have to really follow, even on things of electricity. They have to, like when I'm in Nairobi, I have to visit either Kenya Power or REREC like 4 times in a week, just to see hii niliwacha wapi, hii niliwacha wapi, hii ilifika wapi, hii ilifika wapi. That's how things go, but we hope in future we can have a situation whereby things can flow.
Okay. Me, I used to think wakishagawa waseme for your last mile connectivity.
By the way,
they are supposed to go as planned.
By the way, I'll realize what is in the budget. 30% are never implemented. Not because of anything, because there was nobody to follow. Yeah.
So usipofuatilia hata kama umepewa, for example, tuseme umepewa transformer 5. Uweke pale, so usipofuatilia haitafika.
Haitakuja hata moja. Atikuja tu peke yake hivi.
This is now the mandate of the REREC or Kenya Power.
You have to push your projects. Wasikie memo imeandikwa, imefika hapa, imetoka hapa, imeenda hapa, imetoka hapa, imeenda hapa.
So yule mjumbe mmoja.
So sometimes if you find ile mjumbe anakwanga nyumbani throughout, you know how people can like that member of parliament, but I can tell you things will never move. Atakuta kila kitu iligawiwa na ilienda ikienda. So sometimes we also tell our people the way the structure of government is, allow your member of parliament to spend a little bit in Nairobi.
Aende Nairobi.
Because ukikaa tu ukilega hapa utakuta vitu hivyo. And the end of the day, that is where you'll be measured.
Okay.
Yeah.
Habari ndio hiyo kwa watu ambao wanawatch.
Yes.
Haya, wacha nikuulize swali hili. Wewe na Senator Mandago mlikutana wapi? Mara ya kwanza.
Mara ya kwanza tumekutana na Senator I think the first time we met when I was in first year in Egerton in 2018. 1998. Maybe it was in fourth year, something like that. I remember we came to see Nyayo here as a student, Kalenjin student organization, and then that's where we met. And I think we had a big debate on who is going to represent us. And finally, I think the current PS for Basic Education, Ambassador Bidok, we elected him to represent us during that Nini, which never went very well. So that's a story for another day. Yeah, so that's where we met. I think they also had programs that they were going through the schools when I was in Form 4. They used to go around trying to motivate the students. Yeah, so I think with me and Mandago, I think we had three years. When he was in fourth year, I was in first year. So
mashindano 3 years.
Alafu tukakuja sasa kufanya kazi na nikiwa speaker wa National wa County Assembly ya Wasilisho.
Okay. Yeah. Kumekuwa na rumors ya kwamba wewe Mandago na CPA Julius Rutto mnapanga kutoa gavana.
Yeah, Kapsomok. That's an interesting bit. We also, you know, some people try to group people and band them together and character assassinate them in a way. I think, but whoever started that one, you know where it came from, and we accepted it, and that is how things are.
Ilitoka wapi mheshimiwa? Mimi naweza kuwa najua lakini
ilitoka tu kwa one of the member of parliament pale. Pale tunajua. So and he also promised governor that I will also I'll make sure that you come back, you are re-elected. That's what he ensured, and akasema hii wachana nao Kapsomok. So we said well and good. If you feel that you are the strongest and you know so many things that nobody else know, we accepted, and we are seeing and we are viewing, and that's where we are. Yeah.
Naona tumuongelea mambo ya mjumbe mwingine kusema mwambia governor atahakikisha. Kumekuwa na tension kati yako na Oscar Sudi. Tuliona pale Moi's Bridge.
You know, I think of course there's tension, and it comes about by other leaders thinking they are more powerful than others. They look down upon other leaders. They don't have the humility that is, you know, even if your fellow colleague is crippled or disabled, either financially, you know, you can be disabled in so many ways, the way you think. Yes. Because God places us in different ways. So he can place you with money, he can place another one with the mouth, he can place another one with strategy, he can place another. Everybody has his own strategy. Because by the time you see somebody being elected, it's not a fluke. It's not a fluke. There is something that he has that you yourself you might see as somebody's nonsense. So there is a tendency in Uasin Gishu where a leader thinks that he's big enough. He looks down upon other leaders. He feels that he can reorganize and disorganize you at will. And initially, we used to be friends. But there was an event in Keses, which between him and a member of Keses, and he made some statements which we thought, as a community, that was derogatory, and it needs not to come from a leader. of course, I came out strongly, and also the people in my constituents came out strongly to condemn such utterances. And I think from there he started beef with me. He said, "I'll make sure you are one term." Nini from there. Sijui hii koti moja mnadharau na make sure amekuwa governor. You know, he started now belittling everyone. And there's something I told him, and I want to put it in Angali in Kalenjin. Say, magindi muren bagap chigo tosabe. It means you don't go and disinherit a man in this house while he's still alive. So, and a man has to do what a man has to do for you not to be disinherited. So you have to guard your space. And I think we have told him point blank that for sure we shall guard our space. We shall not come and disturb you where we are, but you can't trample on us while we are still alive. And we are not going to kneel on anybody. Yeah, because even if you have so much, as I said, you can only feed your wife, your children. But I cannot, you cannot transfer the same through osmosis to me. Or I cannot smell and then I become also rich. No, vitu zako uzilete mtu mwingine. So we fight like men. So we have told them, we have told him right and clear. If he thinks that because he feels you have so much, you can come and trample other people, my friend, then an eye for an eye. Yeah. And that one we don't miss our odds. Okay. Yeah. And it will be clear. You will see in 2027, it will be clear. Yeah, amesema atatupanga. He has a lineup of candidates. Mtu kujifanya yani, sometimes in this world, it's a very funny thing. Ati mtu tu unakaa pale unaamua huyu ndatoa huyu ndareplace na huyu ndatoa huyu ndareplace na huyu ndatoa huyu ndareplace na huyu. And you even, I think the most recent you hear now, they are saying, "Oh, you hatapata certificate, you hatapata nini," you know. Those are pure nonsense. And we are watching, but I can tell you, so long as we are still alive, nobody can tremble on us. Yeah, that's it.
An eye for an eye.
An eye for an eye. Na hii, unajua hii dunia, nobody lives forever. So mtu asikutisha ati ukikufa kesho utakumbuka ulikuwa unataka kufanya nini. So umeenda. So you shall fight like men.
Okay. Yeah. Na tension yako na governor ilitokea wapi?
Governor is no. That one is another. Governor by this by neighbor. He's my neighbor. And he used to be a good friend of mine. And in Soy constituency, I can tell you for a fact, even if you ask him, we really did a lot of work. I even sacrificed my supporters, who are also the supporters of Buseki. And I told them, if you are not supporting Koti Moja, then I would rather you lose your vote. And me, I'm always forthright. And there are so many meetings that we held in my place to make sure we can stream things up in Soy constituency, because that is where we come from. Senator Mandago did a lot. Did a lot. You know, between me and Mandago, I can say that we have different plus. I have the plus in terms of strategizing and planning, and Dimi has the plus of the mouth.
Convincing power.
Convincing power. But mimi ni nyuma ya tent. So we combined forces. And I can tell you, if you could see, Koti Moja lost to Bitok in 5 sub-counties.
Yes.
And he won in only Soy. But with a big budget that reversed everything.
There was also rumors that
No, there was no stealing. There was no stealing. You know, sometimes there was no stealing. That I can tell you for a fact. But we really planned well, and we really sacrificed. I even sacrificed my supporters, who were the. By the way, Puseki had a lot of support in Ziwa town and these environs. but I can tell you, I dismantled the whole of it.
Buzeki ama Bitok?
Buseki. No, of course, now what happened is, Bitok also was funny because I think he decided that now that Honorable Caleb was standing, he needed not to invent a lot of resources in Soy, because Caleb and Koti Moja will split votes, which never happened. So, but somebody who really invested in Soy was Buseki. And we really came in handy to make sure that at least we can dismantle that machine, which we in fact, if I remember the whole of it, we really worked for him, and we really meant well, and we also meant very well for our county. And now that we felt that the president was coming from Uasin Gishu, if we joined forces, we could really change things. Yes. But if you tell me Chelilim as a person is not a bad man, but the people who surround him, my friend, I you know, we used to talk a lot before swearing in, and I remember we came to swearing in it was in 64, even not 64, this one, sports club. And there were some things, of course, we had planned in my team. I told them, now that we sacrifice this, do this, so for, especially for Soy, to stabilize the politics a bit. So immediately after swearing in sports club, I think the first red herring was in when they were taking over the office. They started throwing portraits of Mandago, things like that. And now people who are rough came in. Then we were supposed to engage after that, which never was. And from there, he stopped picking my call.
Lakini wewe na Mandago mlimsaidia?
Tulimsaidia. Rosafi.
Yeah, juzi.
Karia.
Yeah. Bitok.
Bitok as in
mlimkampainia, mlimsaidia?
No, we really campaigned for him, especially on the second round. The second round, we moved as a team, and in fact, all the places we went in this was in Gishu. And I can tell you, all the leaders, it was not only us, but all the leaders really assisted him for him to, you know, the Buseki machine is not a very easy machine, as you can imagine. we really had to do a lot of homework, but that county was taken over by other people, and all the doors were shut. We don't have any communication as leaders, and you see, as a governor, you hold a lot of fulcrum in terms of bringing all the leaders together. You know, you are like the president of the county. Yes. So in terms of even going for resource mobilization or resource lobbying, it becomes easier when all the leaders are together and being led by the governor. But I think they looked inward.
After swearing in,
decided, you know, you just like me, I was ranked that I will go for the governorship in 2027. So I think they decided I'm enemy number one. I don't know. The reason I've never known why they are fighting Mandago, because Mandago finished 10 years and he cannot come back again as a governor. I don't know why they are fighting him. So they started this group that surrounded the governor. They started profiling, you know, profiling everybody. Huyu anafanya nini, huyu alikutana na nani usiku, huyu alifanya. So the whole fitina within the environment of the county government made working very difficult.
Kwa hiyo Mandago,
yes,
tulisikia Governor Chelilim siku moja akisema kwamba Mandago anafanya mikutano na watu ambao aliwaajiri wakati alikuwa governor usiku.
To do what with them?
I don't know.
Like for sure, even if you didn't go to school, can you think somebody who has served as a governor for 10 years, what other interest will he have in being a governor? He has finished his term. He is now looking of nationally, making his image nationally, trying to position himself for national politics. I doubt whether he has anything to do what goes on, unless ukuja umeanza kumuchimba. It also depends on how you arrive. But if you arrive with the first instance of making sure that you want to finish your predecessor, I think that's something that, because from where I'm reading, all these things came, they had a script to make sure that they can assassinate all the elected leaders and they remain on their own so that they control the governor and things like that. This is a story for another day, but those are water under the bridge. Now we can only have casualties.
So when a governor amkukosania kitu yote ingine apart from after kushinda hakuwa anachukua simu zako?
Not simu, I'm telling you, profiling,
profiling.
You get, you become an enemy. You know when somebody wants you to become an enemy, you don't even know you have become an enemy of what. But what I'm being told is that from their profiling, they said that DK might have ambitions of being a governor in 2027. Which I don't. By the way, I can tell you, there's a seat I cannot buy his governorship. Yeah.
Okay. Kuna pia ulisikika ukisema kuna mambo ambayo governor hafanyi vizuri.
Of course, there are so many things that are not being done. By the way, if I tell you, of most profound, where I became a bit concerned, there is the major flagship project that Mandago had started. That is the Siwa Referral Hospital, level 5. When we were exiting our last budget, we funded it to a tune of 400 million. Equal. And from what was remaining was that by then, because a year now they need 500 million to finish. By then 400 million would finish. The only thing that was remaining was the mortuary. That was the only thing that was remaining unfunded. But when immediately they came in, and this is a governor that comes from Ziwa, where the hospital is. Immediately they came in, they came and did supplementary and removed supplementary 1 and supplementary 2. They removed that money from Siwa level 5 hospital. I don't know, to come and modernize the headquarters, put cabrals where, do what, do some other nonsense that actually, if you really hear it clearly, you will feel that what comes to mind, is it making beautification in what was so important, making the county government headquarters beautiful, or finishing a hospital. you know, that was, I've never understood up to today. And today we are struggling to a situation whereby we have had to talk to the president so that he can be able to fund that hospital. Otherwise it becomes a white elephant.
Na ilikuwa imebudgetiwa.
Okay. Yeah.
Sawa. Wacha tuende kwa mambo ya empowerment. Tuliona recently ufanya ya one of the biggest empowerment. Hadi uliita Wetangula.
Yes.
Congratulations for you.
Asante.
Nimesikia watu wakiongelea sana.
Yeah. The attendance was electric.
Attendance was electric. Kama people didn't expect ufike that. Ifike hiyo kiwango.
See, I'm telling you, okay, you know, I'm a man of few words. And I mean what I say, and but in terms of nyuma ya tent, you always invest.
Unapanga mambo yako.
Tunapanga, so tulipanga na ikapangika. Yeah, and we executed it with precision. The attendance were over, we had a crowd of over 15,000, which was electric, and we managed together with the kitty for the women, we managed to raise around 21.7 million.
Hey, even
and the visitors that came in were Shimiwas were over 40 in attendance. So Kosiwa waliona choppers left, right and center, some landing, some taking off.
Watu walishangaa kumbe uko na connection kiasi gani.
No, you know, with humility you build friends. You build a lot of friends, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy that the event was successful. I know we did it for around 130 something groups, around 3 in terms of totality, in terms of numbers, 3,000 women. We want to also do another round of women this year, then we do for the youth next year.
How are you planning to distribute this money?
What happened is, see, I told you we had the we had the kitty which the women changat as credit, which was 11.2 million for that day. So that one goes to how it was changat per group. Then these other ones, the one that was now raised during that day, will be split equally among the groups.
Okay. Ukicompare yako na ile ya Sudi. I know you're in a difficult position to do the comparison.
I can't compare because first of all, I didn't attend. Secondly, I was never invited. So I don't.
Okay, tumesikia pia mheshimiwa Sudi akiwa pale Moist Bridge aliongelea mambo ya kuja kufanya empowerment Soy na pia cases. So unaweza tuambia nini kwa sababu is it okay?
I think also Sudi should accept that he says and either aliomba hii kiti ya cases capsule bila kujua ni MB seat ama nini. You know, sometimes you can, I wish he could have seen something. But looking down upon leaders is not good. Respect is very important. Na walisema nini si utumwa, let us respect one another. Of course, he has said that now that your MB has no capacity, you will come and organize that empowerment, whichever it is. But also he made something very interesting. And I was telling him the other day, you know, promises are debt. He said that he has the power, he has the money, and he has the power to give everyone in Soy 2,000 shillings. So which he hasn't fulfilled. So wherever he is, I just wanted to bring him to speed. That if we say that we are only factoring those ones who are registered voters, we have 105,000 registered voters in Soy. So assuming we constrain on the registered voters, then 2,000 times 205,000 registered voters, you get he owes us around 210 million. So we are telling him you are highly welcome to do an empowerment, but note that before you start, we shall need around 210 million, because they say that in Waswahili wasema ahadi ni deni. A promise is a debt. Is a debt. So akikuja hiyo Moisbridge akuja na 210 million. To run the logistics, we shall give him have all the database of all our voters. We shall assist him to link with Safaricom to give him the mobile numbers so that he can be able to credit the accounts with 2,000. Alafu tutamruhusu basi aendelee na empowerment. I think we shall be the most
empowered constituency.
We shall be the most empowered constituency. So I think that's the only thing is that we are telling you, you made a promise, and people of Soy are waiting for that promise. You will tell us where to line up. But I think the easiest will just give him the Excel spreadsheet with all the details. Alafu fanya ile mambo. Na maisha itaenda mbele. But otherwise, what we ask for from as Soy constituents, let us respect one another, respect the leaders, because the leaders have the blessing from God, and they serve for some time. For the 5 years they have been selected. If you feel that umekuwa ndume sana, unataka kuamsha watu, you are free. Na tutapatana kwa uwanja. Wepa anataka patana kwa uwanja, haina shida, but let us tell him we don't fear him a bit. We really don't fear him. So I think the better he engages in other things that can serve him better, the better. But otherwise, as we know our territory, and
you will stick to that.
We know what to do with those people who feel that they can trample upon other people.
Mheshimiwa, now that you have also explained the reason for your tension between you and the governor, is that the reason why it is rumor that you have thrown your food with behind Bitog's bid for governor?
You know, let us be factual. You know, I'm also still contesting for Soy constituency.
Okay.
And you see, I cannot use material. So what I can tell you is that whoever emerges the fifth after the preliminaries for our UDA party, we shall support. But what I'm just saying is that from my analysis, I'll keep off from. I no longer support Kotimoy, and I will keep off. Even if he emerges from the party, I'll just keep off. Yeah.
But you no longer support him?
I no longer support him. So if anybody needs my support, time will tell. Yeah. But otherwise, I wish it would have not gone the way it has gone. But from where I'm sitting, I can say Uasin Gishu deserves better. And we shall ensure that it gets better. It gets better. Yeah, we might have missed some steps, but I can assure you 2027 we are not going to miss. Yes. But with all the candidates that needs the governorship, I think they are free to contest. Of course, whoever needs our support, I'm also a candidate and also a voter. Yeah.
So utapigia mtu mwingine kura?
Yeah.
So pia utapiga kura kwa gavana mwingine?
Of course, I'll not vote for tomorrow. That's what you wanted to hear.
Sawa, mambo ndio hayo.
Yes.
Wacha nikuulize tu swali moja alafu tumalizie kwa kupitia zile maswali ambaye pia our viewers have asked. Mambo ya Rigiji. Unaona aje mambo ya Rigiji?
By the way, I think we should not concentrate on Rigiji so much. You know, if you concentrate on something, somebody who has died, you go and resuscitate it in he might wake up. So I think let us not focus on him so much. The government of William Samuel Rutto is doing well.
So how do you respond to the
parameters? And the fact that we have the broad-based, looking at the spectrum of broad-based, from Nyanza, Western, Coast, Northeastern, we have the numbers to defeat whichever coalition Rigiji cobbles. We have the numbers. So I think our focus mostly should be to deliver on our agenda, to make sure we sell our positive message to our constituents. And by 2027, Rigiji will be forgotten story. But you know, when we keep on entertaining and mentioning him in every function, he also gets an elevated ego, and we might build a mountain out of an ant. So I think from where I'm sitting is that the government is on the right track. Let us focus on the broad-based that the president has been able to bring on board. Let us focus on the programs that we are doing very well, and we pass the positive message to our people. And Kenyans have brains because you cannot also say your agenda is one term. There is no agenda called one term. Because he was asked recently, what is your agenda? And I said, my agenda is one term. So somebody that is agendaless, why should you focus so much on him? So, but of course, he's also nagging. Sometimes you want to forget about him, he nags you. You know, like this administration doing what? Okay. But I think the president should focus on driving the country in the right direction. As because we have enough time, we can do the dirty work. Yeah, because we have. But the president president and the executive should focus on delivering the agenda. And and also making sure that marriage for the broad-based government works. Once that one is, there is enough magnet in that. And also, I presume the president should not stop at only the broad-based government. So to make sure that the win is as wide as possible, he should also try to build other coalitions. There is nothing that stops him from bringing Kalonzo on board. There is nothing that stops him from bringing Matiang'i on board. There is nothing that stops him from even bringing Natembeya on board, so that at least we have so much unsaleable win to a point whereby even somebody wants to cry that he was stolen, because in this Kenya your election can only be stolen, you cannot lose. He will not even have that latitude to be able to say that. So I think the president, and I know the president knows how to build networks, he knows how to build linkages, and he will be evaluating as time goes, so that we can have a firm, broad-based government that we have everybody on board. But so far, so good.
Okay.
Yeah, things are on the right track.
So
and I want to tell the Kenyans, nobody could have done better. Where this country was when we took over, nobody else could have done better. And even if we complain about taxes, we should know that by the time from independence, we had zero debt. We had only some debt for Wazungus who had left us with land and decided that we needed to buy our own land. That was the only debt. But since then, it has been accumulating to a situation whereby by the time William Samuel Rutto was getting to power, it had gone to around 11 trillion. And we can see we are still rotating around 11, 12 trillion. We have not added so much. So what the president meant very well. It was only the finance bill 2024 was politicized. The president wanted, if you look at the scheme of his working, he wanted to make sure that by 2027 we had a balanced budget. A balanced budget means what we receive and what we spend are in equilibrium, so that we reduce our debt as much as possible. That is a very good working system. But of course, the young generations they didn't understand, and they were able to force us to still borrow. So we might not achieve that balanced budget by 2027, but the only way to develop this country is to get a balanced budget. Once you have gotten a balanced budget, then you drastically reduce your debt. And once you are debt free, then all the other developments will come on board. Because you can imagine, out of our collection of around, I think it was 2.8 trillion, let's go, it's 2.8 trillion. Around 1.2 trillion goes to pay public debt, both foreign, both and domestic. So you are only remaining with how much? With 1 point, you went to school 1.6.
1.6.
1.6 trillion. Now, employees, government employees, the civil service takes 600. TAC couples another 400. So you are in 1 billion.
Yes.
County government goes with another 400.
200.
You have not run any ministry, you have not done any development. So some of the recurrent expenditure that the government will do, plus the development, will depend on borrowing. So if you run such a country, how will you develop? So sometimes let us, you know, when you want to heal someone, you have to give medicine. And our medicine are not sweet. So we have to allow ourselves to swallow the bitter pill for the betterment of tomorrow. It's only that the people whom you are trying to better their tomorrow are those who are complaining the most. That is the irony of it. But otherwise, if we really call ourselves Kenyans, there is no way we can be funded by Wazungus on our own recurrent and developmental expenditure. So the president meant well. It wasn't understood, but I hope in future it will be understood. But we have seen now incremental finance bill. We are getting there. At least now, like this one, we passed without a lot of ish. So I think we are heading there slowly. But I think what I realize in Kenya is they don't like to swallow everything at once. They want to swallow in bits. And I think slowly we shall get there. But I can tell you, if our president is left to serve for his full term of 10 years, Kenya will change for the better.
He will leave a legacy.
Kabisa.
Sawa, wacha tuchukue maswali kidogo kwa sababu tunaelekea kumalizia. Kuna mwenye anaitwa Rutto Tirop anasema keep doing great work to the people of Soyans, brother DK. Ongera mkuu. Though in my village in Endetu we need electricity.
It's coming up.
Okay. Justice anauliza when are you renovating Ziwa Primary?
This financial year.
Okay. Watching live my...
And by the way, we are going to model Ziwa. Ziwa Primary is one of the schools. There are some schools that are bigger that have decided that we are going to model to be a model school. And Ziwa is one of it. So the things we are going to do in Ziwa is a lot.
Okay.
So I'll tell him to watch this space.
Sawa. Kurio Lagat, just asking this, what plans do you have for your youth in terms of employment and empowerment?
Yeah, I think I think as we said, empowerment for the youth, we shall be able to do it next year. We want to finish for the women this year, then next year. Slowly, I think what our youth should not accept is that the way we are, the government cannot employ everyone. It cannot even employ 10%. So most of our youth, what we encourage them is to be self-reliant in terms of self-employment. That is the key. And I think upon us, it is incumbent upon us, the leadership, to provide a good environment where they can be, where our youth can be able to invest and be self-employed. I think that's the key, and I think that's the conversation that we need, so that we find out that what is inhibiting our youth from venturing into business and venturing into investments that can make them self-reliant. But if I cannot promise you today, and no one should promise you today, that if you elect me, I'm going to employ all youths. It is not possible from where we are. Practically, it's not possible. So it's only that to improve the environment in terms of investment environment, in terms of opportunities that are available, so that our youths can be able to chip in, so that they can be able to be self-reliant. That is what will sort 90% of our youths. The other 10%, when things open up, they can be able to get jobs.
Okay. Yeah. Tukiendelea na kuna Dennis Liting anasema try to push stima ya Jabali.
Jabali is going on well. Okay. We are making a lot of progress.
Bernard anauliza mheshimiwa, we have a problem in our hospitals. No medicine at all. Inabidi ununue dawa na tunalipa SHA.
Hiyo pia itabidi aende kwa account.
Somebody by the name Faith anasema hello honorable DK. I am Faith from Railways. My question is, what will you do for our youth to make them put food on their tables?
I think we have covered that.
Yes, we have covered that. Swali ya mwisho kutoka Wilson Koech anasema great mind. Question to mheshimiwa. The MTP popularly known as Better is meant to reduce inequalities in the economy. What is your take on now popular known as women empowerment versus the opulence that Gen Zs are against?
You see, maybe I can try to explain that. You see, the Better, the bottom up development model that this government came with is to try to bring people from the bottom up. And one of it, I think there is a misunderstanding in terms of how that one should be done. And I can explain to you, if you look at our region, from day one, the president managed to reduce the cost of fertilizer from 7,000 to 2,500. What that means is that per bag alone, you have been able to reduce, we have been able to save 4,500. Which means there are two spectrums that you can look at it. If you say that you have been using per year, if you are a maize farmer or whichever farmer, if you are using 10 bags, that means from that alone, that initiative of the government, you are able to save 45,000 that year. And that 45,000 is enough to pay for you to pay your kid to join boarding school. Is that right? Look at also this way. Because of the high cost of fertilizer, you weren't operating at the optimum levels where the money where the marginal return is zero. That's the optimum level. So because you are using 1 bag per acre, so if you save 4,500, you can be able to do 2 bags or 2.5 bags per acre. So that one will push production, assuming it is maize, it will push production from 15 bags to 30 bags. You get?
Yes,
so you will have, by that alone, you will have doubled your income. You get? And that is what we mean now by trying to bring people up the ile pesa mfukoni. And you know, somebody imagine that the government will come and put pesa to your mfuko, which is not the case. That is through those programs. And in terms of subsidy alone, the government spends, because I'm in the agriculture committee, the government spends 15 billion fertilizer subsidy, 15 billion per year. If you look at another model, even the decision that the government has made to stabilize the milk prices. In fact, every year we are giving a subsidy to KCC of around 1.5 billion to stabilize the price and getting farmers to be paid on time at 50 shillings. Otherwise, in times like this where it is raining, you will have Brookside doing at 28, and you will have the local cooperatives will be doing at 24. But because it is known that the KCC will always give you the price of 53 minus transport, which comes to 50, then at least it stabilizes most of the prices at even if you take to your local cooperative, they'll buy it at around 44 or 42. So by that decision alone, that is how money gets into your pocket. For the empowerment program, this is the spirit of Harambee. I know it has been used badly as opulence and things like that. This has been the spirit of Harambee that was incarnated. It was started by Mzee Jomo Kenyatta to bring everybody to assist one another. So the empowerment programs, I will take it as that the spirit of Harambee that we all do. We all do. We can come together, maybe 40 leaders, sometimes even today. The spirit of Harambee, I've used around 300,000 to assist people at various levels. And that spirit has really assisted. It has made some of us go to school whom we could not go to school. It has made some of us get money for investment. Like if you do an empowerment program whereby in the course of things, if a group gets around 100,000 or so, they will be able to start a business of an incubator for the for Aging X. With they'll be in business. Sometimes they can buy a tent which they'll be renting. At 100,000, you can get a tent put together with 100 chairs, which they'll be renting to whenever there are events, which they'll be able to get an income. So we are trying in the midst of so many problems. At least we are trying to do something. But the most workable one is the one like the subsidy program. The subsidy program, I believe, for us from this region, that one has been able to either double our production in terms of productivity, or in terms of, if you look at the material savings, at least it can be seen you have been able to save, so that if you are spending 70,000 in fertilizer, you are now spending 25,000. So the net effect, you can do something else.
Okay.
Yes.
When all is said and done, what legacy would you like to leave to the people of Soy and Wasingishu County at large?
You see, at least, may I start with Wasingishu? Because I told you my last order of business as in Wasingishu was being the speaker. You know, the speaker for Wasingishu County. And if there's one legacy I left was making sure that we passed what we call the 60-40. That is the World Development Fund, which we actually forced that of the total development vote for the county, 60% should go to everyone equally, so that it doesn't depend on whether an MCA, whether, you know, depends on emotions of the governor, whether he likes you, doesn't like you, you know, those ones they'll get across board. So when we pass that, at least now we ensure that together with Project Identification Committee and the MCA, there are 45 million to identify ward-based projects we are going to do in that financial year, without whether the governor likes it or not. That is in law, and that law was challenged up to in court, and we won, and it is the only, I think it is the only bill I signed as a speaker to become law for the first time in the history of this republic. So at least if used well. The only problem is we have when governor cohabits with MCS, that thing becomes a bit blurred and like those are clear. But when you have a working oversight body in the name of county assembly, it becomes very pronounced. And I think that's something that is a legacy, that for the first time you have stability in terms of running a county government in Uasin Gishu. And I can tell you, Uasin Gishu is the only government that cannot face impeachment through my effort. Because when I was there before then, I realized there was a lot of friction between the governor and the MCS. And you know, sometimes the governor can go in bed with your competitor na wakuja kumalize ground. So huyo MCA anakuja amekasirika sana, anasema picks a paper, wait tuweke impeachment nini, and you could see he gets a crowd. So today he gets 50%. Might be tomorrow he will get a 2/3. So it was a very dangerous, and I told the governor that unajua hii kitu kila mtu anataka kuwa na power. Once akifika pia akiongea anasema nimeleta maji pale, governor akisema nimeleta hospitali pale, MCA pia anasema nimeleta maji pale. There are some things that that ward-based fund really developed. That is the roads, the ward roads. So at least MCA could have something to say. So even if governor doesn't give you an appointment, you have something to say, and that thing brought peace in the county government of Uasin Gishu. So if you see that the county government of Uasin Gishu is quiet, ujue tu ni because of 60-40. And I want to encourage all other governors, because I have seen some counties, they come to, I think they have been defeated in their counties, they come to Senate to try to pass the ward development. It's not that, that's a discussion that can be finished any county government can be able to finish it. And it will make the life of a governor easier. Otherwise, without that, there will always be a paper along the county assembly to impeach a governor. Yeah, and you will be fighting. And you know, when government hears that there is an impeachment paper imeenda hivi, hapa atachoma karibu 5 million ili ishuke. So sometimes I believe that's one of the stability I was able to establish. And it has been something that has been taken over by most of the counties. The other bit, the legacy we want to live in Soy. We want to make sure that, as I told you, we want to make sure that connectivity to electricity is 100%. Passage of roads and our institutions of higher learning are converted into like academies. You know how an academy school looks like. Those are the legacy that we really want to make, and to make sure that at least in the livelihood that our constituents are engaged in, like farming, it makes it profitable. And the only way to make it profitable, that's why I went to, you know, I'm an IT person. You can tell me you are an IT person, but you didn't go to the committee of ICT. I went to the committee of agriculture specifically to to make sure that I stand for the interest of my farmers. And I think what I've been able to achieve is black and white, to make sure that at least whenever there is a discussion, because when you go to the committee, you know, committees is where budget of is discussed, is where issues are discussed, and everybody, if you get a member from Meru, ataongea juu ya mira. If you get a member from Giricho, ataongea juu ya chai.
Yes, true.
So me naongea on behalf of maize farmers. You get, and we have made always our interest in terms of even funding activities, making sure that the cost of seeds are affordable, the subsidy program have enough money for the fertilizer, the AFC, they have money to give credit to our farmers. Those are the issues that we really want to stabilize. And I think given time, if the people of Soy will find it within themselves to give me another
second term,
I will ensure that I will have finished everything, and by 2032 I will go to something else.
Sawa sawa.
But not govern.
Not govern.
Not govern.
What I govern? That's a point blank answer.
Yeah.
Anyway, asante sana mheshimiwa kwa kuja kwenye show.
Yeah.
It is clear your journey was driven by purpose. Na tunashukuru sana. We wish you all the best in
Asante. Yeah.
political career.
Oh, okay. Hopefully the discussion has been useful.
Yeah, it has been useful.
Yeah, and I like the architecture. It doesn't have a lot of it's an open discussion.
Yes,
so,
ni kupiga tu story.
Yeah.
To our viewers pia najua naona pia bado watu wengi wanawatch. Asanteni sana for taking time to watch this late. Remember, each and every Sunday at 8 p.m. we are coming to you live kuwaletea a very interesting conversation. Ya leo imekuwa interesting, imekuwa na mambo mengi na tunashukuru mheshimiwa kwa hayo. So till we meet again, my name is Colin Sambai. Have a good night.
Asante. Have a lovely night everyone. Asante kwa watu wa Soy for your support. Thank you.